Good to see you too. Hey, how's everyone feeling?
All
Good,
right, here
good,
we
good.
are. I'm feeling good. I found out you guys know I'm Heathcliff on the moors in Wuthering Heights at all times on the best day. So I found out it's supposed to rain every day tomorrow until next Friday.
Oh,
So
great.
so my wife, who was raised in Florida, and my kid, who is raised on the beach, he's half and half though. He's gonna really like 2.5 days of rain, and then it's gonna be over. But yeah, no, I found that out. I love how Steve not only is dressed as Hunter S. Thompson today, but is like taking a call from Jan Venner or whatever his name is on
Oh, yeah.
in Rolling Stone. You know, so
No, Marlo just called me. Marlo gets out of school right now, and she's going to her
oh,
friend's birthday party. So I'm like, why is she calling me right now? And she's
Uh,
like, I just wanted to call you and tell you I loved you, and then I'm going to the birthday party. And I'm like, oh, okay, gotcha. I'm on a thing. Love you.
Nerd.
well, hey, that's awesome. So as a dad, I love that.
Yeah,
But
sorry.
two,
So you get the phone call from the kid. I got to take it. So
yeah,
any
exactly. I
you
mean,
know,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
there's no
sorry.
harm there. And then it allowed us to kind of make fun of your gig for a little. Oh my God, look who's here!
Oh, look at this. What is this?
Look
Is
who's
this
Oh,
here!
speaking of
is this
kids.
from the floor in the
Hello,
locker
hello.
room or?
No, we're in the back parking lot next to next to all of the classes where people are taking their languages.
Oh, there you go. Well,
Oh,
school's out by now, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
How was your 1 hour of school today?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, 'cause we didn't have it was Lunar New Year, so we had school off yesterday. So we had a Monday schedule, and I had to go to school at 9 o'clock instead of 12. I was so upset.
Oh my God, it's
Mm,
like a job.
Yeah,
got to throw another Molotov cocktail into the equipment locker.
yeah.
Stop.
Walker, have you told the guys that you haven't shown your ID in like a year and a half yet?
Yeah, I think I'm going on something like I think I'm past 100 days by now.
So set up the story and tell them what's up. I think this is
So
awesome.
So a few times ago, like a few months ago, it was last year when I was a junior, they had a someone break into the girls' locker room. Not someone, it was a hobo looking for a place to sleep. And he
Okay.
crawled up into the vent and was just hanging out.
Was he a
And
hobo though?
yeah,
Keep
so
on
I
going.
mean, I'm pretty sure he was homeless.
I
Up
said
next.
I was sorry.
Yeah.
Hashtag no hobo.
and so And so all of the security was like bumped up a level, and they're like, you have to show your ID when you walk in the building, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I haven't shown my ID in like 3 weeks. I'm going to see how long I can run this. And so,
Hmm.
and so I would just, there'd be giant hordes of people walking in, and I would just get in the middle and walk in with them, and they wouldn't see my ID. And then I found out they just left the back gate wide open. And I've just been
Oh,
walking
great.
through the back gate with no one checking my ID for like 100 and something days.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Not to take away from the story, but when Larry mentioned it, I thought you meant like buying like lottery tickets and
Yeah,
No.
like
no one's been IDing you.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right. Like
Show your ID.
that's funny.
Yeah, it worked really well. And then I
That's
shaved my beard, and I
Well, that is the trick. You grow in a beard, you grow in a little facial hair, and then you shave it, and you see if it changes up the eyes of the security guards. And if they don't say anything, then you're good. You don't never show ID. You're
yeah,
past that phase.
yeah,
That's interesting. So you have to. That's crazy that you have mandatory like ID to walk into school. I'm
yeah.
assuming probably more schools in California do that. But
Steve,
Part
did
of
you
how
not have to
they
do that in high school?
Did I?
ID? Yeah, no.
I
Like
didn't
high
even
school, yeah.
get an ID. And did you get an ID in high school?
Of course,
uh-oh.
man. I went the raw way, baby.
Well, because it was right next door to Rahway Prison. That's why it was Rahway High School, Rahway Prison. Oh, which
Yeah, Sylvester
I'm at
Stallone
the
was
wrong
constantly
building.
trying to break out. Yeah, Sylvester Stallone was constantly trying to break out.
Love that.
Anyway,
My
hi everybody.
I must have said that my high school was not only a high school but a junior senior high school and a junior senior high school for a 4-county region, and still the entire place was 250 students. My graduating class was like 23 people.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
It's like a law school.
I think mine was about 200, maybe a little over 200 was my graduating class. How about you, Mark?
Probably a little bit more,
Yeah, right?
but barely.
There's more kids in Lowell than there is population in the town I went to school in.
600.
That's crazy.
That's my graduating class. I think we have like 2,500 here.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Your whole school, my town was only 2,000 people.
How do they the thing that always fascinates me when the class number gets so high is, and I know this has nothing to do with anything we normally talk about on Dork Court, but it's like, I like when you get like 600 kids, like how do you truly delineate the difference between the valedictorian and the salutatorian? You know what I mean? Like, aren't they all taking the same classes and getting the same A's? And like, is there a grade above an A? And like, how much extra credit could, like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Like, I didn't go to a school with when I went to school, like I knew the 10 smart kids, and sure, that was the top 10, but it was also like, I couldn't imagine a class of like 600 and then being like, do you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'm explaining wrong.
I know what you mean. I just, this is a question for Walker, I think. But I imagine it's like at Lowell, there's so many kids with like GPAs of 4.2, that like
Auden last semester had a 4.8.
4.8.
What?
See, so like once you're up in those weeds, people like you and me aren't going to understand how they determine who's the valedictorian.
3.3. 3.3.
Oh, listen, man. Hey, whatever
Hey,
gets
you
you
got
out the
into
door.
film school, man. So whatever.
Hey,
I can say I got into college before all of my friends. So yeah, good. You got 4.8. Cool. Here's my college acceptance.
The things that people never realize until late in life is your resume never asks you your GPA ever. And then eventually in the industry, you work long enough and no one even gives a shit if you have a degree or where you went to school. It's just word of mouth, and where you were last is really what it all comes down to.
I don't even know if my college is still even a college anymore.
Keene?
Huh.
Yeah, right?
It is.
I'm like, Kane University. They're like, huh? I'm like, exactly.
Yeah, I think both of my parents graduated.
Can I clean your
from there.
toilets or what?
Yeah, just take my word for it.
Yeah, both of my parents went there before it was even called, is it Keene or Kane?
Kane. Oh, so they went when it was like the Teaching Academy of New Jersey or something like that?
No, it was, what was it called before? Jeez. I'm looking it up.
Hey, Walker, is that your Mallrats outfit?
This?
Yeah.
No, this is just my brown corduroy with the Jeep shirt under it.
Oh, gotcha. That's why you look bulked up.
Oh.
Do you see
North State.
A Brody vibe to it.
Do you see I weathered my hat, Walker? I just kind of you kind of can't tell, can you? I don't know.
It just looks green.
Yeah, I know. That happens.
I'll see it when I get home.
All right. Anyway, Landman
Yeah.
TV. Are you watching Landman, Mark?
No.
Okay.
That's the Billy Bob show?
Yeah.
It's, Taylor Sheridan, right? The whole Yellowstone phenomenon.
Yeah.
Are you plugged into that, or do you not care? Because I get how sometimes the fans sound like cult members. And I don't want to do that, except that's kind of the point of what I want to say, is that Landman is like, I think it's the 6th show on Paramount Plus, either 5 or 6. And he's figured out the archetypes that he likes writing about, and he's made like the top film canister in your Roach Pyramid, where like it's 100% pure military grade, industrial strength, uncut Taylor Sheridan.
It's
just so good.
A couple people online are saying, like, if you haven't watched any of them, that's the one to watch.
Yeah, agreed.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I've seen bits and pieces of Yellowstone, and obviously since I've seen it sporadically, I have no idea what it means in continuity. But they were like, but Lawman is like, just speed through it and you will absolutely love it. And then you kind of don't even have to watch the one article I was reading was like, you don't even have to watch Yellowstone if you like Lawman, and wait for the next one. Or what's the other one with what's her name in it?
Lioness.
They said that one also is pretty decent.
That a show or a movie?
That's a show.
The
Yeah.
show.
Yeah,
Wait,
that's
are
on
they-
our list, man. Don't worry.
Okay.
I mean, I hate that the MCU has poisoned my brain, but are they all the same universe?
No.
No. Okay. They're just the same creative.
It's
Okay. Well, it
Executive
could
producer.
be, but I don't think so.
yeah, they
I think
haven't
I re-
actually spelled that out. But wouldn't that be awesome if one of the lawyers showed up in somebody else's show? That'd be great.
I bet they're in the same universe, like how Brooklyn Nine-Nine and New Girl are in the same universe. Where
Got it.
one day, like Beth is gonna go help Billy Bob Thornton do something.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
man.
there are 2 coaches.
I hope
Yeah.
it's actual sex.
Okay.
Come on, I know it's mildly inappropriate, but you know it's 100% on point for both shows. And
Yeah,
both-
I heard Lawman is just nuts, and what's her name's in it, who looks fantastic, and I can't think of what her name is.
Demi Moore.
No, it's not Demi Moore.
She is. Oh, are you talking about? Oh, you're talking about the Bass Reeves show, Lawman. See, we're talking about Landman.
Wait, what's Landman?
Landman is
You
Billy
idiot.
Bob
Billy
Thornton.
Bob. I keep on saying Lawman. I mean
Yeah.
Landman.
Oh, Ali
I mean-
Larder from
Oh,
Ally
Ally
Larder.
Larder.
Yeah,
right,
she.
from
Oh, and Demi
Heroes.
Moore. That's right. Demi Moore is in it.
Yeah,
And
John
and-
Hamm. It's a really good cast. It's top of the line, entertaining. You know when you catch us, right? I think we count as a 4-quadrant family. I count as 1840 to 49 as well from my maturity level, but also as an old man. So, and then Walker's right, the kid. Anyway.
I mean, I'm almost 18.
I know, but you know, technically it's 4-quadrant, right? And
Yeah.
all of us loved Landman. All of us. It was great.
Landman.
Even
What-
Mimi was not looking at her phone while we were watching TV.
What is Lawman? Is
It's a
Lawman
TV
the
show.
old? Is Lawman the old Western that I'm thinking of?
It's
Yes.
the
Yeah,
Bass
Lawman-
Reeves show.
Yeah.
Bass Reeves, yeah. But that's one of his shows too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for that because they say Lawman Bass Reeves, and I hope they just do a Lawman other show because that was really good. So
Well, just give
yeah.
us another season of Bass Reeves, man.
I thought it
No,
ended.
Oh, that's what's his name. I like that actor. The
Yeah, that show was great.
David Oyelowo. Is that how you? I think that's how you say it.
Well, he was fantastic.
Now I need a TV show about a guy that mows lawns called Lawn Man. And it
Yeah.
wants
So everything's screwed up. There probably
Yeah.
is. What are you talking about?
There's probably a Lawn Man.
Wait, what was the
Lawnmower Man was
Lawnmower Man.
what was the
Jeff Fahey, Stephen King. That was the first time me and my college buddies like ripped on a Mystery Science Theater 3000 thing so well that the entire place was happy that we were calling jokes live because the movie sucks so bad. It's just one of those memories I'm just never gonna forget because it was like, oh, this is what it's like to be a comedian, right? We're like not really on stage, but we're making fun of the stage, but everybody's laughing at us. Anyway, it was great. Spellbinding. Oh my God! Can I tell you too? You guys remember Nancy Sen, right? The inventor of the cotton gin.
that's
the
Eli?
phrase,
Isn't that Eli Whitney
Yes.
for Jeopardy?
She was the phrase explanation is joke murder. She's a professional comedian, one of the intro writers to Loose Cannon. You know what happened? Speaking of good news, one of those things you never forget. On February 14th and 15th, 2 nights only, she's opening for Paul Reiser in Providence, Rhode Island.
Really? That's
Wow.
Isn't that
Great.
fucking amazing? Because she's only been getting on stage for about 8 months now. That's lightning fast for that kind
for
of
Burke.
gig.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah. So anyway, good old Nancy Sen.
That's
That's
awesome.
so cool.
Yeah. I bet she doesn't forget that night either to tie it back thematically to what that reminded
Better
me
not.
of. Anyway,
Well, as you were Mark, as you were saying, the show about the lawnmower man, or there is a show called Landscapers. It's a
Okay.
2021 HBO true crime drama, and it's funny because it's David Thewlis, who I love, and Olivia Colman, who you'd recognize if you saw her.
Yeah.
And I guess it's a seemingly ordinary British couple become the focus of an extraordinary investigation where 2 dead bodies are discovered in a back garden of a house that they're landscaping. Like
Lawn
The
people.
landscapers.
I'm like, okay. Like, I mean, I can't imagine it went more than like a season. But and it's a true crime black comedy. I got to see who it's written. 4 episodes. I got to see who it's written by. That's the true determining factor.
Yes.
Created by Ed Sinclair. I don't know who that is. So let's see.
Rabbit hole.
No, because you know what's going to happen? It's going to somehow turn into, Ed Sinclair. Yeah, he's married to Robert Downey Jr. You know what I mean?
Hey, Walker,
Olivia Colman. There you go.
Do you want to tell them about Night Agent?
Oh yeah. So we're watching Night
Just trying
Agent.
to talk people into watching cool shit.
Yeah, we're watching Night Agent, which season 2 just came out. That's a really good show. We were doing a Western kick for a while because we went from Yellowstone to Hell on Wheels to Landman, and now we're doing more of a like spy kind of thriller.
Oh, okay.
Thriller shows where we started with Day of the Jackal, and then
Oh.
now we're on Night Agent season 2.
Which Day of the Jackal? The TV show?
The TV show that just came out.
Okay.
So, but yeah, Night Agent season 2 is just, I think it's pretty good because the first season was about how he's watching the phone, and then the phone he's watching a phone that should never ring.
Okay, I remember
Yeah,
the
yeah.
trailer.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
And now he's full on Night Agent, like
He's
an
an
agent who
Yeah.
is supposed to ring the phone. So it was
Agent
really
of Night.
Yeah, it's really good what they're doing. I really like it. But they're doing
Okay.
yeah, it's good.
It's so funny because you could
looking at that.
probably go down a crazy rabbit hole of like movies like about the jackal.
Yeah.
And so like I'm interested to see how the remake was because I love Day of the Jackal, which I think is amazing. But then the Jackal, the one with Richard Gere and Bruce Willis, and like who else is in that? Jack Black is in it. Like the cast is like nutso. Sidney Poitier, I think, is in it.
Oh, I'm thinking of The Saint with Val Kilmer.
Yeah. No, the Jackal's the one where
Also,
it's the
movie.
assassin. But I haven't seen that new one. But Eddie Redmayne's in it, and I like him. He's pretty good. I don't know. Is he the Jackal in it?
Yes.
Okay. So I will give it a go.
You'll love it. They just basically they did the book, right?
Oh, okay. So like the original Day of the Jackal.
The Edward Fox movie, the first one, it kind of suffered a little because you had to compress all that shit into a 2-hour movie.
Right.
And so they just made it. They aired it out. But there's all kind. If you like that movie, there's all kinds of scenes. Like they duplicate the watermelon target scene.
It's off. Like
the thing with wrapping a little piece of rope around to steady his thing so I can shoot one. They do that. So there's some cool stuff like that. But I don't know. I loved it. It was fun watching it with Walker and Mimi too because they were all into it. Yeah. So when you get people into like a thriller that's making you thrilled, that's pretty cool. It's doing its job,
that's cool. Yeah, it's funny. Day of the Jackal can send you on a pretty crazy rabbit hole because the guy who wrote like a bunch of really great of those like spy thrillers, like Odessa File and like Fourth Protocol, and I think they've all been made into movies. Oh, I didn't see The Cat, and then I saw The Cat. That's crazy. But yeah, like I that's all I remember is like I saw Day of the Jackal, and I was like, oh, I want more of this. And then I was like, oh, it's a book. Oh, okay. And then really quickly, you're like, oh, what else did this guy write? Oh, okay. Oh, they made movies for that? Oh, they made a movie for that. Oh, they made a movie for that. And it's like, it's kind of interesting rabbit hole you can go down. Trying to think, did he?
Speaking of rabbit holes, one more thing you have to ask Steve before you get called away.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to tell him about Jugger and what the movie is and what he thinks about that?
Yes.
Jugger.
So,
okay. Hold on. Before you even tell me, is Juggers a sport of some kind?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, now tell me your whole thing. And I think
So,
but go on. Okay.
So, senior year, I have 3 classes. I'm not doing any sports my spring semester, but I've been joining a bunch of clubs. I started a club, and my friend Mason, who's in that club, was
The
telling
Frisbee
us,
one, right?
yeah, was telling us about his jugger club. And so one day he was walking around with all of these weapons for jugger, and we were like, and so jugger is just basically people hitting each other with foam, with like foam pool noodles, with like backing in them, and there's a bunch of, but it's like it's very complicated, but it's based on. So
Yeah,
I
no.
went.
This is the part you want to ask Steve. It's
Okay.
based on a movie called Blood of Heroes or something.
Yeah. So it was based on.
Also known as Juggers.
Yeah.
So we wanted to know, like you know all about this movie, right?
Of course. With
Okay.
Joe,
All right.
with Joan Chen. And they fight in an arena.
Yeah.
I do know about it. But what do you
Well, the best part is I knew that I had a friend who was 100% up to date on this. And then on the other side, my son was like, hey, there's this new thing that's been invented. I was just like,
it's
this
a
is
connecting of the
awesome.
dots.
I get to see the entire spectrum. I'm like, this is awesome. So anyway,
I'm
like, you got to talk to Steve about this, pal.
So I don't know that I didn't know it was a sport, but I know it from the movie, which
When's the movie from?
what's that?
When's the movie? Like, is it old? Like 70s, 80s?
1989.
Yeah, it's old 80s. It's Rucker Hauer.
Rucker
So it's like one of those. It's during that little run where like Rucker Hauer makes like these really great like post-apocalyptic kind of movies. So it's like he makes this movie, he makes like Deadlock, he makes a couple like movies that are just like in the future or post-apocalyptic where things go crazy. But yeah, Jugger, man, that movie. Did you watch the movie?
No, we haven't seen it yet, but that's the next step.
I gotta see if I have it. If I have it, I'll add it to the drive. I'm pretty sure I have it. I just don't know what I have it called. Yes. So did you join the team? Are you a jugger?
Yeah, so I'm a jugger now.
Like hours later, he's like, "Where's the PVC? Where's the duct tape?"
I already have my own sword. It's not the best. It's really heavy, but it'll hit.
Well, as you level up, your weapons will advance too.
Oh,
yeah.
You know what? I feel bad. I passed up some cricket bats the other day. I probably should have grabbed them for you. I saw them at a garage sale, and I was like, "Oh, $1 for a cricket bat? That's pretty cool." And then I'm like, "The hell am I going to do with cricket bats?" But now I know, because isn't it kind of like a cricket bat?
Yeah. So what the way the game is played is that it's a 5v5. There are 4 people on each team with a variety of swords. It's like a long sword, 2 short swords, a short sword and a shield, a staff. They call it a Q-tip, but it's just like a pole with 2 things on either end. And it's really good. And then the 5th guy is called a quick, which is what I played a lot of because I was really good at it, which is just the guy who gets down and they have to get the ball, which is a dog skull in the movie.
Oh, so essentially what you do in lacrosse.
Yeah, pretty much. And so I get it, and then I have to like run around and like dodge people's like swings and stuff, and then put it onto a goal on a pedestal.
Isn't there a goalie? Isn't there a goalie?
No, it's just the goalie's like the
quick.
Yeah, the 2 quicks have to wrestle each other because they don't have swords or anything. So it was really fun because I was sitting there. I was a quick and my friend was a quick, and they were like, "Yeah, okay, so the quicks, you don't have any weapons, and we don't want anyone to get hurt, so just like 2-hand touch and shove each other." And we're like, "Whoa, that's not what we came here for. We came here for violence."
I feel like the movie is a little more violent, but
that's
what Walker's saying.
The ball is a dog skull.
And then so we're sitting there and we're like, why can't we wrestle? And they're like, well, if you want to wrestle, like, go ahead. And we're like, cool. So we get down and we get the ball, and me and him are just grappling each other, and he actually gets it and starts running away, and I pick him up because he's lighter than me. I pick him up and start carrying him over to the other one, but then I kind of lose balance and we fall. He drops it, and we just start scrambling, and so I pick it up and start running, and he shoves me in the back, and as I'm falling, I jump forward and slam it into the goal, and it was amazing.
And your one buddy carries around all this equipment so
Yeah.
that you guys can play. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. He carries it around if they go to tournaments, but it's usually in a shed that we have.
I was going to
love
ask
it.
where
That's
you
awesome.
play, but I guess a shed. All right. That's the answer I was looking for.
At the school. I think that's pretty cool. Is it the tennis guy who lets you store
The
your
track guy.
He's
Oh,
like,
that's pretty
yeah,
sick.
store your stuff in there. We don't care. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, what's he's like, all right, it's not going to take up much space next to like the hurdles.
Yeah.
And, you know, and the pile of shot puts over there. So that's cool. Yeah, but that's a solid
Gives the
movie. I
hobo
remember
something soft to lay on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember it being pretty violent. That's all I remember.
Walker and I do this thing called Interesting Fact of the Day. It's just some weird trivia we learned. And you just said shot puts, which made me realize I found out what a brass monkey is.
What? Tell us, you got to us.
It's
That
a drink.
funky monkey?
It's a drink.
It's well, it may very well be, but like to
Even
store
bottled brass monkey.
it's
That's
to,
what they got in Ryman and Stealing.
to store cannonballs on the pirate ships. There was this like little triangular thing made out of brass, and that you could stack the cannonballs into a
Oh yeah,
pyramid.
that's what it's called.
Yeah. So that's the brass monkey. It's holding it.
So all right. So now I'm gonna high school. When I was in high school, there actually was a bottle you could buy at a liquor store called a brass monkey,
Nice.
and I had one. And over time, it is
Well,
now
you lived
gone.
in New Jersey.
Yes, I
You
would
kinda
love to
had
have
to.
it. But
Yeah.
it used to just be, I think, a 40 and orange juice, if I remember correctly. Right? That's what it is, Mark? Right?
That sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah. But
One of those 3-ingredient cocktails.
I went to
Yeah.
school the raw way.
yeah. But there was someone that made Brass Monkey, and it was a bottle. And boy, I would love to find that bottle again. That would be pretty cool. But
That's what they were drinking and Ryman and Stealing from the Beastie Boys.
yeah, well, they have a song called Brass Monkey, so it makes sense.
It's all throughout. It's through all of their songs. They talk about Brass Monkey. I think in Paul Revere they mentioned Brass Monkey, although I'm not sure. I wrote my PhD thesis on the Beastie Boys' first album, License to Ill.
Did you really? That's
Really?
No.
listen. There's probably a thesis out there about that album because that's pretty damn influential. So
Yeah.
that would make a lot of sense. In Marvel news, to change subject.
Yes, back to Dork Court.
Yeah. Did
Yeah.
you guys notice that they added Captain America shaking hands with Falcon at the beginning of the new Captain America trailer?
I did, yeah. At the beginning when they're like on the bench.
Yeah.
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 Was that always there? Or did they just add that quickly after what's his name said?
I feel like it's a recent addition. Whether
Yeah.
You think they added it after he got the bad press of saying the America thing?
Yeah. Like, oh no, Captain America, he's all right. Chris Evans likes him.
Honestly,
What?
though, do you think?
Wait, what bad press?
Yeah, he said America. He was playing out the Nomad stuff that's going to come out in the movie, and it's one of those things where the guys are ahead of the audience, and
Yeah, you
it's
can't
gonna
talk
make
about the
sense
movie.
later.
Right.
But like right now, it looks like he stuck his foot in his mouth by saying, Captain America should stand for honor and coolness and everything. It's not America. It's like it's just one of those. So whatever political view you have, right? You get to do one of those, like, when they got mad at Michelle Obama because she said, this is the first time I've been proud to be an American in a while.
Similar to same thing. Yeah,
it's,
exactly.
it's the same kind of reflex, right?
But
Yeah.
Disney-
Same kind of folks.
Yeah, but Disney don't mess around anymore because their commercials are on too many channels. They own too many channels now. That's actually what it comes down to. Back in the day, they probably would have just been like whatever, but now they're like, let's fix this.
It's a pretty easy fix, and it's pretty clever too. Like Mark said, Like, oh look, it must be fine because Captain America is shaking hands with him,
Exactly.
right? So that's pretty deft and very Disney.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. I don't remember that in the beginning.
I don't remember that in the other trailers at all.
But I've been glitching the Matrix lately, so who knows?
I mean, there is the trend of trailers just giving away the whole plot of the movie. Like, I just saw a new trailer for the Gladiator 2 movie on Paramount Plus, and they straight up in the trailer say, like, you are his son. Like,
Yeah.
he was your father.
You learn that in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, wait, you kind of, it's kind of alluded to until like halfway, right?
Well, listen, I don't want to spoil it for anyone, and I'm noticing that we don't have any watchers, so that they'll get it later. But like in a trailer I originally saw that they haven't been showing anymore, like it alludes to like Denzel Washington as like the big bad guy in the entire and you're just like, and then I watched the movie and I was like,
that's a spoiler because I didn't know that.
Well, is he not the bad guy?
Like the good dude.
No,
Denzel?
he is, but
yeah,
you don't know that.
Yeah, he's a bad guy, but you're also like, oh, they had a cut of a trailer where you're like, who is he fighting right now? You're like, oh, okay, okay. If this actually,
he's fighting the star of the movie. Okay.
Right, like, oh, okay, that obviously is not something I saw coming, and you're just like, oh, okay, well, let's get rid of that trailer because, I don't know if people necessarily want to see Denzel Washington as the bad guy, but I don't give a shit. I'll see him do anything. He could, recite, Mother Goose poems. I'd probably watch it. So,
read the dictionary. I saw that. That
was the one. And then the other two things I wrote down were, the big movie festival that's coming up soon. They pulled all the Superman trailers. They're re-editing it again.
Huh.
Oh.
Huh.
So that's I don't know I guess it's not. I don't know if it's. I can't see any I didn't see anything online about any like screenings of it yet. But I'm assuming why would they pull the trailer again? It doesn't make sense to me.
So they're
it could be anything. Like maybe they had like, a narrative shift and just went, oh crap, this is a bigger deal than we thought, so we can't reveal that.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I mean,
that's what I'm hoping it is.
Could be anything.
I saw the trailer. Superman was fighting Denzel Washington, and they were like, "We can't have that."
You are his son.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, and then the other thing is, I know it's old news, but that Star Wars they're replacing Ray Stevenson, Stevenson character. Yeah. But I think that's old because they confirmed Ahsoka season 2, right? Because that's what he would be in.
Because like there was a rumor that Natalie Portman would be in Ahsoka season 2, but then that was not confirmed or like denied.
Yeah, there was that. What else? And then the other thing I wrote down is that
Natalie Portman was supposed to be in Ahsoka season 2.
Yeah, I didn't hear that. That's crazy.
Oh, I thought you meant you didn't hear me say what I just said.
Oh no. No, I heard you say it. I didn't hear it.
I heard it both times, but I didn't know that.
I was like, did my mic crop out? Hello.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hello.
Can you repeat yourself again, Mark? What was that?
There will eventually be dinosaurs on this dinosaur tour, right?
Yeah.
Wow. And what else are we watching? Walker Young?
Oh, I do have to ask, Larry.
Oh, hit me.
Section 31. Is it terrible?
That's exactly what I was going to say. Yes, the horror is beyond imagining. It is so bad, it's not even funny. It's just 31? The best part, though, is they all seem to know it, and it's not going to be going forward.
Is it still your Alex Kurtzman? Is it an Alex Kurtzman
yes,
thing?
I mean, you might be interested in this, Steve, because it's not. You don't need to know narrative of Star Trek. But Mark, did you hear about what happened with the Skydance thing? So Skydance now owns Paramount, and they had
Skydance. Is that J.J. Abrams?
No, who's Skydance? It was Tom Cruise and Paula Wagner or something, but it's some giant Chinese conglomerate now. They fund everything. But they own Paramount now. And so they had their internal numbers guys go, what the fuck with Star Trek? Everyone hates us. What's going on? And the big takeaway, these are all rumors, but I heard it in a couple of different places that don't really seem to know each other. And the story is mostly the same. So I'm just going to say the same stuff that they all said. All 3 or 4 of them said. But the merchandise revenue is down 90% since Kurtzman took over. That's insane. And that even if you add in the J.J. Abrams movies to back it back to like whatever that is, 2006 or something, revenue is down 40% overall. So you can see it's clearly Kurtzman, right?
That's nuts.
Wow,
how would you survive that?
So the thing that comes out is the reason Star Trek's been all murky is because of the whole Viacom thing, that the split that happened. And basically Paramount licensed Star Trek to this Kurtzman secret hideout. And so the end of the license is next year. So Skydance people are recommending that'll take you through season 5 of Strange New Worlds. But Starfleet Academy only gets 1 season, and then just fucking call it and let Star Trek rest for a couple of years. And we have in our house this part of the story. Let Walker Young finish film school,
and then come back and bring back the glory.
The time he gets out and is ready to take over, they'll be looking for a new steward of this, historically significant property.
First man on Jupiter.
Well, I know Kurtzman is the other name, is the one name you always say, but there's another name with an M that you always talk about.
Oh yeah, Terry Metalis.
Yeah. So what's his? Is he?
I'm laughing because I got into a little trouble last night for something. Yes, yesterday was January 29th, and 2 years ago on that date, Terry Metalis, the showrunner of Picard season 3.
Got it.
He was just picking fights with fans, and the art director Dave Blass was picking fights with fans on social media, and I was like, "You guys are out of your minds." So anyway, that came up, and I said the thing. Coincidentally, this actually does work. I said, "Well, at least with that came up, and sometimes I'll like necro posts because I think it's funny." And I go, "Well, at least with this new Skydance thing, we don't have to hear about Star Trek Legacy ever again," which is. Metalis was like banging the drum to like, we left Picard season 3 on a cliffhanger, so let's go make a show because that's the lowest effort possible. And anyway, I mean, God bless everybody, right? But it's just not what we want. So some people do, I'm not going to say there are good people on both sides because those people have no taste.
Especially, well, so it's. So then the approach
he's
would
just
be
a hired guy, right? He's not part of secret hideout.
Got it. So then the thought is you let Kurtzman kill whatever left he has to do.
Yeah, just run out the clock.
It's like, yeah, okay.
And then, have everybody go.
Isn't that new show? Isn't that supposed to be a big show? I saw it promoted on.
It's supposed to be, but I'm just saying while this has all been going on with the strikes, and the coronavirus, it's all been kind of up in the air. These people are saying, just cut your losses, man. What's that fallacy, Walker? The
sunk cost fallacy.
Sunk cost fallacy.
Were you learning that in school?
No. Kind of. I learned it last year.
Yeah,
in your economics class, right?
I was going to say.
No, my psychology class.
Oh, psychology. Oh, right. Because you don't want to apply that to your real efforts with other people if it's not paying off. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's
that was when our
I don't use that phrase so much anymore, but back in the day when we were doing producing, when I was a producer of some kind, you use that phrase a lot and give examples of it.
Like this Star Trek thing, right?
Yes, exactly. It's just like, why are you making an irrational choice?
So the thing that I think is cool is that since it's licensed, they were fighting and saying this is real Star Trek and this is part of the timeline and everything, and it absolutely isn't. You can just go, that's the part of licensed Star Trek of that weird thing that happened with Secret Hideout, and you never have to talk about that ever again.
But
isn't that crazy?
But here's the beauty of that. Like,
Weird.
and that's the mistake the Star Trek people make, where the Star Wars people don't make it. Right? Because we always talk about that. Like, okay, skeleton crew, that might not be for me, but that's Star Wars and it's part of the big universe and it sits over here and it might not interact with this stuff over here, but I like this stuff over here. But that's their group of stuff over there. Whereas Star Trek, it's just like, I don't know. It seems like everything. And I'm not a Star Trek fan, so the only reason I say this is it feels like Star Trek fans have like indirectly have a little like love-hate for each of the other pieces of Star Trek. Is that true? Do you feel that? Or is there
I think it depends.
Yeah.
Like me and my boys, what is that? Is that you, Walkers? There's some kind of screeching. Okay.
Does that make sense? So, like, I feel like there's like the core Star Trek fans. There's the Star Trek fans that became Star Trek fans of different parts, and then they hate everything that's not that part. And it's kind of like that. It's kind of like that flipped on like fanboy bullshit that happens with Star Wars, where it's like we would like the Acolyte. It's like, oh, I love the Mandalorian, but the Acolyte, I hate the Acolyte, and it's just like, just more Star Wars
fans are weird.
Yeah.
Are you splitting, Walker? We can't hear you, buddy. You turned us off.
Gotta.
Oh.
Well, hopefully that wasn't some kind of
yeah. Hopefully the hobo didn't grab him to throw him up in the vents
at Lake Merced. So, anyway, yeah, I mean the older fans that I talk to about this, it's like we think there is a Star Trek alternate history, right? Where certain events happened in a certain thing, and these people happen. So once they start going, you know, oh yeah, Wrath of Khan, you know, happened, but it's not 1996 anymore. But there's no effort to explain it, and that just all they have to say is just like, you know, this is this timeline, like they did with the JJ movies, right?
Right.
Nobody gave those movies shit at all because they went, you know, everything's the same. There's just this bit where, you know, the Romulans have the red matter, and that's why it splits right there. So now we're gonna have adventures along this track. And I'm like,
and but yeah, and
great.
in the JJ, yeah, and in
and
the
then
JJ
you can like
movies,
it or not, right?
Right. And then in the JJ movies, they did reference the original stuff, right?
Yes.
Because Spock's in it, right? Real
Spock's
like Spock's in it, not
real Spock.
Not Spock.
Do you feel like the difference is that Star Wars takes place in a universe, so they can pretty much do whatever they want, while Star Trek kind of follows an organization, so they always have to kind of stay close to that idea?
Well, I
guess
do now. That's a really good observation, Mark. Yes, I think that. I do think that.
But hold on. Star Wars is never. I think I see where you're going, but Star Wars never really takes place in a tremendous, like, the universe stays the same, but it's always within this like almost like this 100-year period, right? Whereas Star Trek, it's kind of expanded beyond both of those, right? Isn't like some of the Star Trek like really early on Star Trek, and some of the shit is like way in the future Star Trek?
Yeah.
Right? And then whereas Star Wars, it's like, oh, like pretty much every Star Wars is like when Yoda's been alive or he's been dead. And that's like, I don't know, like I feel like it's been like
900
years.
900 years, whatever he says.
Yes.
Good observation, though, Mark. I did like that. That is interesting.
Yeah.
It's like Law and Order, right?
Backslash all around.
What else did I write down?
Section 31 is horrific because there's no Star Trek. There's no Star Trek in it whatsoever. So let me just break it down. So first, the main character is this evil mirror universe version of Michelle Yeoh, right? Mm-hmm. She's Hitler in space. So you're like, how am I supposed to root for this as our main character? Well, maybe they're just not going to address it. No, the opening scene is how she becomes emperor, is that she has to like fist fight her boyfriend, and they go back to their respective families to say goodbye for whatever happens. But the secret reveal is whoever gets to be emperor is the one that kills their own family, because now you're emperor of everything. You have the family of the world. And she does that. So guess now you've shown me why I cannot root for this person, right? And then that whole thing's played by a teenage actress, first of all. So you kind of don't even have an emotional thing as an audience member.
Right, because you're not attaching that character to Michelle Yeoh, right?
Right. Who they write completely differently, because this chick's all, she's a good actress. She sells the scene, but it's just horror, right? And then when you cut to Michelle Yeoh in the future, or the present, she's all like, hey, make them funny James Gunn jokes. How's it going? Bang, dang, I'm a bad guy. But you're rooting for me, and it's so atonal and weird. It doesn't work as a regular show, much less Star Trek, right? And then they just throw in weird shit that doesn't matter, like the black-white racist thing from the old days with the Riddler. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Frank Steele and Lokai is like, no, he's black on the left side. Fuck you. And even little kids go, and Lyndon Johnson, President Johnson, went, oh, yeah, racism is dumb. Thank you, Star Trek.
Thank you, Star Trek.
But the whole point of that is that the two factions have hunted themselves to extinction, and they're the last two guys. Okay. And now there's tons of them, because there's one that's just a waiter in her club Casablanca thing that she owns for no reason.
Oh, and is that what Section 31 is, or it's Section 31?
No,
like the FBI?
No.
It's even stupider.
It's kind of like the FBI, yeah, or the
it's
CIA.
like the X-Files in the FBI, right?
Yeah.
Like Section 31 is to the Federation what whatever other government agency you've seen in a movie is to the regular thing.
They're not the ones who aren't afraid to get their hands dirty.
It's the dumbest thing ever, because it's so anti-Star Trek as a concept. And it really only works when you're like playing a Mission Impossible thing where we need this data that the Romulan general has, so I have to fake out his family. Okay, that's cool, but if you do that all the time, it turns into something different, And so that's what their setup was. It's basically they have the Mission Impossible team of guys that are going to do all the shit, and so they have a Dalton girl. Oh yeah, those the fucking aliens who fuck out everything at all times. And you can tell that would have been a theme if this had been a show, right? They kill her in the first 15 minutes.
This is a movie? This isn't a show?
Yeah, it's just that they compressed it down because nobody cares.
Oh, I thought this was a TV show.
No, it's
I didn't know what it was, because they marketed it like a movie, but then it looks like a pump, feels like a sneaker. I couldn't tell.
It used to be a TV show, and they just compressed everything. The setup, a single mission, and hey, look, we can do this forever kind of end.
Wait, hold on.
Into a 2-hour movie.
Now I'm confused. So this is the Michelle Yeoh character that's like the Emperor that is evil, goes back in time. I don't know, is evil, right? Okay, I'm following.
Yeah.
And then
she's in the good universe.
But she's still the evil character.
Yes.
Working for the Warehouse 13 or whatever it's called, Section 32.
Yes, exactly.
Totally.
Okay. And then it's them, like, it's a movie, so then what's the plot? Like, it's just her going back and like
literally the whole first act is these wackadoodle characters all assembling at her bar, right? So there's check this out. This
is the beginning of Expendables, getting everyone together. Got it.
But you have to explain who everybody is. You can't just go, oh, that's Dolph Lundgren. He's that guy, right? It works in the Expendables. But
it's Rebel Moon.
They have a
totally
Vulcan guy who's blonde, who laughs completely full of emotions, that it's revealed because he's the little guy running a giant robot from Men in Black, right? Like, why do that to one character? It's insane.
Wait, so it's a blonde Vulcan with a little guy in him
who laughs, but that's just the robot ship that he runs around in, and he's like this big. And he's kind of he's a dick, and he's got an Irish accent because why? I don't know. It's cute, I guess. But like every character's like that. Here's a big like mecha guy. Why? Because I'm a mecha guy. And it's just
I kind of want to watch this. I kind of wanted to. I want to watch it because I know it's the lowest level of Star Trek. It's like,
well, if it wasn't called Star Trek, it looks like every movie I loved in 1985 with a $500 million budget. right?
Hmm.
It just it's dumb and stupid, and they did the best they could, but like that's not what I want from Star Trek. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why this whole thing with, Mike Okuda and Rob Burnett and all these guys are like, oh, there's a whole bunch of people working really hard and we should all just like be happy for them. They have jobs. And like, I just want good Star Trek, man.
Yeah.
I don't care how the sausage is made. Like, and that's why these, the best grip or whatever, the best boy, secret grip, whatever they call it, all those guys have egos and their own blogs. And they're like, I worked on this. And it's like, dude, I don't like that I know the set designer's name on season 3 of something.
Yeah, that seems a little weird.
It's not what Star Trek's about.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I got off on a rant.
No, that's cool. I kind of want to. Well, now I'm interested to watch it because it's a movie.
Jez and I had a jinx at the same time where we saw the trailer, and I was like, I'll watch it. And at the exact time, we both said, well, I'll have to be high. I was like, oh.
I won't like it, but I'll watch it.
It's slow motion car wreck. I just want to say I'm not advocating that you watch it, but I think you will be entertained when you do. If you go in with that attitude that like, oh yeah, Mark said to get high, so I did. He didn't tell me I should have got it really high.
Well, I watched Rebel Moon, so I'm down for anything. Which I kind of, Rebel Moon was fine once you remove the 70-minute backstory of every character in every person you see on the screen.
Here's the thing: as somebody who has seen both, what Section 31 is missing, like Rebel Moon at least looked beautiful, right?
Yeah,
every shot
Zack Snyder makes a beautiful movie.
It looked awesome. So even though it was in service of nonsense, you were still like, this is the best taffy I've ever had, right?
Sure.
But Section 31 is like, you're just digging for food out of the dumpster behind the restaurant.
Well, listen, Rebel Moon was at least original. Like, and I know that sounds stupid, but Warehouse 32 or whatever it's called, like, it's using all of the tropes from Star Trek, but it's
it kind of isn't.
I feels like the way you were explaining with the mechs and the little aliens, it feels like they had this room with this giant Star Trek board of everything from Star Trek, and someone was just throwing darts and like, we can have a guy in a costume and he'll be a Vulcan and he'll be blonde. And
yes, that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like watching it. Like, where did this ship come from? This doesn't look like anything that's in the Star Trek universe. This is just something somebody made. But I have that thought a lot because I know that they have, each episode has 2 directors. There's a director of the special effects and a director of the live action.
Oh, interesting.
And they don't talk to each other.
Yeah.
So all that special effects guy knows is, there's 10 ships off the port bow in space, right? And all the director knows is that he's got 5 guys that have to go, oh, there's that ship and that's so-and-so ship and fuck those guys. And so he does reaction shots and sometimes it doesn't line up. So what happens is both sides of it do the most generic thing possible. So it's kind of like, I'm kind of hungry. And then some guy goes, I've got hot dogs. And you're like, is that all we got?
I am so excited to watch this. I'm so excited to watch this, and I will watch it without any level of influence in any.
And you'll love it. You'll love it.
I love schlock, so
it's very funny. But you know how what James Gunn does effortlessly, right? Because I mean, he works on that, but he makes it seem by the time you get it, it looks effortless, right?
Well,
they were trying to do that, and they didn't. They don't have that polish on it yet.
Well,
there's funny guffaws, but it's like it's so obvious. Like, hey, somebody's kid's brother is trying to be their funny older brother or uncle or whatever. It's just
you know what the thing is. The thing about James, you use James Gunn, but he used his career to work on that element. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
So like, he makes Tromeo and Juliet. He's like, oh, I can go crazy schlock. And then he's like, oh, okay, then I make Slither. And then I can kind of reel it in a little bit, but add a little bit more of the comedy, but add a little bit. And then each of them just kind of, he finds the perfect tune. It took him 20 years to do that. you're not going to do that in a single episode. You know what I mean?
I do.
Yeah. I know.
And that is exactly what's going on with Star Trek, because all the people who are in charge of it are coming to it like people coming to James Gunn stuff without doing the trauma work. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, for sure.
They're like, they watched all James Gunn's movies, so they're like, how hard can it be? And these guys are all like, oh, everybody seems to like the Gorn, so let's throw that in there. And then there's a Gorn skeleton in Discovery, 60 years before they meet the Gorn. And it just makes fans go, what? Right. Like, oh, let's put a Tribble in there. But we don't have money for 500 of them, so let's just make one big one. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Right?
Is that what they did?
Yeah.
Did that happen?
Yeah, that's season 1 of Discovery. And not just that.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, there was a giant Tribble on Lorca's desk, and that was kind of a running theme that he kept the lights down, because he's from the Mirror Universe. And that was a reveal that to everyone who knows. Mirror Universe people are always squinting not because they're evil, but because their light is different. Anyway, So he keeps this thing, and there's a running joke that he's just like, he's got Tribble kibble in his pocket, throws some grain to the Tribble, and it goes ooh, on the corner of his desk, which all it did was make every fucking real Star Trek fan go, what the fuck is that? Instead of paying attention to their show. Right? Anyway. So
meanwhile,
Tribbles
Star
aren't
Wars has a
pregnant.
guy
They're
carrying an ice cream maker, and they do it right, and they're like, "Oh, cool! It's a little safe."
Yeah. What's his? Well, that's the most. You can buy that. Do you know that?
Yeah, I got one right 20 feet from here.
Yeah.
You want me to go get it? I'll get it.
Yeah, I want to see it again. I can't think of what is this guy's name. What's his name? Wardlow. What's his name?
The guy who ran around in the background of Cloud City.
Yes. Yeah. What's his name?
Oh.
Wilro. Yeah, Wilro Hood. Yeah. I know. I was like Wilro Hood. There you go. Oh, that's sick. I love that. That's so.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right.
I feel like that's like the perfect popcorn bucket that
Yeah.
Larry, I was saying, I feel like that's the perfect popcorn bucket that I don't have.
Oh yeah. I love these things. I just love that Favreau did that. Just took that stupid joke and made it like the linchpin.
Like you're like, oh shit, he's running out with all of the money of Cloud City. Like, brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, the vibe I get is that it has it's a way of carrying heavy things, but like light. Like it has like weird gravity on the inside of it. I don't know.
What do you keep in yours? Tribble kibble or?
I don't know. It's not opening. There we go.
Cheetos.
Nothing's in this one.
Yeah, that's so cool.
That's awesome.
Walker's got a piece of
Beskar.
Yeah, he's got Beskar, but what's that real steel that's folded over? What is that called? Damascus steel.
Oh, there you go.
Some real blacksmith made Beskar steel, but out of Damascus steel, and like stamped the Imperial cog in it and everything. It's legit. It's pretty cool. He has to oil his Beskar though, because it rots in the sea air.
Oh, interesting.
Anyway, this is good old Nick Tierce. I don't know if you've seen him on my Facebook.
Yeah. They were selling those at
Disney.
At Disney, they were.
Yeah,
I saw it there, and
nice.
I was just like,
pick one up for Walker because he's a cool guy, I guess.
Yeah, that's awesome. Is he an Imagineer or just a Disney nut?
I think it's both. I'm not sure he's an actual Imagineer, but he does work with Disney on their, I forget what it's called, but it's like experience. It's the park experience stuff where everything's interactive. Cool. Whatever that shit is called. Yeah. He is really, really good at that stuff.
Well, I just was reading that the Star Cruiser, what's it called?
The hotel, the cruise ship, or whatever.
The hotel is now the Imagineer's office.
Oh, is it really?
They're just going to repurpose it and make it the Imagineer's office, home office, or something.
Does Nick work for Lucasfilm? I don't know. I know he used to. I don't know.
I can look. Well,
we should ask him. Nick Tierce, please produce your your whatever your income tax form.
Did he stop by the booth at Comic-Con one
Yeah,
year?
he was the guy that had the card with the little cocktail rapier through it. Do you remember that?
Okay.
That's
I remember Steve talking to him about this whole idea about like checking in at one point in the park and it interacts with you somewhere else in the park.
Right, exactly.
He's got the he's got the Tomorrowland tattoo on his hand. That's all I know. He's got he's big.
The Logan's Run jeweled palm. That's the one I think is impressive.
Yeah, so he's got he has the Tomorrowland on one hand and
yeah.
Good, nice guy, super nice guy, super friendly,
super nice guy.
Yeah,
and his wife Britt too, super nice gal.
Anyway,
super nice family. They should have children.
He works
for Gonzo's Ragnick thinking Nick Terrell. Okay, cool.
Still, you know what? Still brought us on the right path, so that was good.
Yes. Anyway, yes, that was cool. What else is going on?
I mean, I'm working my way through Expanse again.
Are you really?
Oh yeah.
I don't have the Expanse gene. I feel so bad.
Those.
What's the Expanse? Who's that?
Well, the reason I can't deal with it is because Tom Jane is in the beginning, and I just don't care about.
I know it's hard to get. I never even told Jez the story about him at Comic-Con because I didn't want to like ruin it.
Like me, my life is ruined. Can you imagine? He probably has no memory of that, and it's like impacted my viewing enjoyment
of a space sci-fi show that's
mildly unrelated except for his participation.
Is he even a main character in that show?
The first season he is, yeah.
Yeah.
It seemed like
he's in 26 episodes because of course I looked. I wanted to see if he dies off or gets killed off soon. And like everyone else is in 62 episodes, so I'm like, okay. So something must happen at some point where he goes away.
Well, did they change the cast?
No.
Like what season is it? How many seasons is it?
6.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Really? Wow.
Yeah.
That's like I don't know. That's like when you hear
Mark, I'm not surprised because you just said that 37 seconds ago.
Oh yeah. That's what I get for listening. Maybe I wasn't. Mark, say that again. What you were saying?
Huh?
What?
Natalie Portman was going to be in Ahsoka season 2.
Well, the last thing I was going to say is I apologize to you both because I can't. I am going to be in Austin the week the Captain America movie comes out, and this will be like the first time in a very long time that like I was trying to think if there is a premiere that we've missed like this. There has to have been because I know we didn't do the Marvel.
Yeah.
We didn't do the Marvel.
Avengers was our first one, right? So I don't think we've missed a Marvel since then.
We didn't see the Marvels.
Oh right, yeah, that's true.
So,
seg. What I miss? Section 31 sucks.
Yeah, let's see. Speed through it.
Walker was here for a minute.
Yeah, Walker's playing Juggers at school, which brought up an old Rutger Hauer movie, which he needs to see, which I need to make sure I have a copy of, which I'm sure I do.
Do you know who wrote and directed that though? David Peoples. So that's why Rutger Hauer is in it, from the Blade Runner connection.
Yeah. Didn't he
really
wrote some stuff in Blade Runner?
Working together? Yeah.
Oh, yes. That's probably like, hey, I'm making this movie. You want to be in it? And he's like, yeah.
Why do we have that kind of information in our heads though? Like that? What?
I don't know. Right? I also do have like some cost fallacy and stuff like that too. So I feel like I kept a little bit.
You throw that around, and it makes us seem to our wives like we're paying attention, right?
Like,
I get that one.
You say that in a meeting, and the 3 copywriters you're in the meeting with are like, "Oh, okay, he knows what he's talking about."
Big guy.
Yeah, he's the number guy.
You are the Brute Squad.
So on that note, I think that's all I got. So Mark, we'll figure it out offline. If I don't know, do you want to go? Do you care?
When even is it?
Valentine's Day.
Next Thursday. Not really? 2 Thursdays. 2 Thursdays. I can get tickets. Tickets are still available.
I can get them. That's why I kind of feel like there's no rush. Like if all 4 of us, because Walker's been going forever. If we can't all do it at the same time, it's kind of like why do that to ourselves? We'll catch it when we can and go to. Then that way, the next one we'll be all excited for.
Let me
do a private screening in your basement.
Let me. You know what? Hold on. Before we make a decision, and before
he's like, I quit my job. I gotta go. I gotta go see this Captain America thing.
Let me just make sure there's no. Oh, damn it! Is there a? I just want to make sure there's no fan event.
Oh. Hi.
Advance tickets.
While we wait, I'm gonna declare right now, Air Force One is part of the Marvel Universe, and that's he's actually President Thunderbolt Ross during the events of Air Force One.
Okay, I like that.
Is Gary Oldman is like a Hydra?
That's a prequel.
God, if Gary Oldman says Hell Hydra in that movie, fucking sick.
Walker and I kind of got into an argument about how he's excited to see Chris Evans say Hail Hydra in Doomsday.
I think that's so smart. I think you just I said that too, like
stroke.
you just bring in all of the old guys
as have them all be bad guys.
As the bad guy. Exactly. That's Scarlett Johansson. I'm telling you. You said Lou Ferrigno?
Yeah, that was the one I saw. Yeah.
It's gonna be Eric Bana as my
okay, that's cool too.
Yeah, it won't be Ed Norton because he doesn't play nice with others, but it'll be like Bana. They're gonna dig in the crates. All right, there's no fan fest, so or fan event, so I feel better now.
Hold on. Yeah, Sag. Yeah. Madam Hydra. Yes, please.
Yes,
and the way John Buscema drew her too gives that little bang, that black bang right across half her face. Yes, please.
I'm trying to think. What is she? She's in the new Jurassic Park too, though.
Yeah, aren't they making her the new main character for the?
They are. So
I can't wait until the Jurassic Moon, and they finally go. What are dinosaurs on the moon going to be like? I can't wait for that.
Colin Jost.
I just want another Jurassic Park movie. I like the Jurassic Park movies. There's never enough of them.
Yeah,
you don't like them?
No, I love them. I love them all, but it seems kind of like, hey, we have this ability to make dinosaurs. In the first movie, there's all this ethical and moral questions about
that's out the door.
And it goes, and then it just convincingly starts going, well, we should never do that. So let's just move them to San Diego. No, that's kind of a bad idea. Let's do it. So that's why I'm like, I'll get excited when one's on the moon.
Yeah. Only safe place.
Hey, listen, as long as Jeff Goldblum's walking around and you can squeeze him into a head to toe black suit or black, I just keep that character, the Ian Malcolm character, around forever. That's all I say. So, and Crichton's dead, so he don't give a shit. The family just like, yep, keep on paying us. Give us the royalties. We love it.
Have you been following that about the pit? Oh my God. John Wells, the producer of ER, after Crichton dies, starts this new thing with Noah Wyle, and it's basically he's the old grizzled doctor that's training a bunch of new guys now, the Dr. John Carter character, and Crichton's widow goes, yeah, except you guys, we have a death termination clause or whatever. There's some kind of legal thing for it that said after Michael Crichton dies, you might have the rights to do something, but his estate has approval. And they're like, oh, no problem, but it's not like rubber stamped, right?
Okay.
So they go, yeah, no, this is just pretty average shit, and they go, yeah, okay, well, we're not going to deal with you anyway. It's now called something different, and he's not Dr. John Carter. He's Dr. So-and-so, but they think it's different enough that, they can get away with it.
Yeah.
So there's
was it really like it was like a spinoff? Like he was playing the same character he played in ER?
It was a legit ER Next Generation.
Huh.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. And so, but it's so different. They think, well, we did all this work. And I'm like, I honestly think they would have been fine if they recast the main character.
Oh, right? Like if it wasn't Noah Wyle.
The rest of the planet is not listening to your story because that's clearly Dr. John Carter from ER. So even though it's called The Pit and everything, and he's got some other different name, Dr. Don, Smith or whatever.
Right. Oh, interesting. That's crazy.
They should have him be the character he played in The Librarian. That'd be kind of cool.
Well, the Crichton Estate thinks they have a giant, case because
yeah, why not?
It's the definition of confusion in the marketplace. So, and it's like they had good faith working with them. That like, yeah, you're going to do this next thing, and then they went, no, we're not, and they did it anyway, and they're not paying them. Like, I think I'd probably see what the legal system had to say about that too.
That's crazy. Well, it sounds like they did change his name.
Yeah, they're not going to call him John Carter. Like,
but that's who he's playing.
You don't want to be associated with that Mars movie,
right? Which I'm still holding out for a sequel one day.
John Carter.
Just make it animated. Imagine a John Carter. Imagine a John Carter.
Yeah.
Of the style of Into the Spider-Verse. Dude, that's like I'm no lie. We are like a year from me being able to type that into my computer, and an hour later having that movie.
I can't wait because I'm gonna do an Astronauts in Trouble movie.
1,000%. The stuff is so good now, it's crazy. There were
Well, on that depressing note,
I won't even talk about it anymore.
Yeah,
gotta go to work.
Yeah, I gotta go back.
Awesome, man.
All right,
thank you, Mark, dude.
Yeah, man.
Always a pleasure.
Really good talking.
Yeah. Same time next week. Does that work?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Awesome. Thank you guys for listening, and thanks guys for chatting. And let me go online to buy more Stephanie McMahons.
You fucking weirdo. Bye.